What's up, guys? It's Benny. Let's say hypothetically there was a group of young white men that were roaming through a country music festival to find elderly and middle-aged black couples to beat them senseless within an inch of their lives, and the reaction of every other white person standing around was to cheer them on and to film it, to upload the videos. That would, of course, be wrong. You would disavow it, and so would I. Be hideous. And I would want those people brought to justice. Of course, there would be a lot of national news stories. Every individual involved, every person that ever uploaded or cheered for this would have their lives destroyed, and rightfully so. So why is it okay when the races are reversed? Well, you know the answer to that question, because we live in a post-George Floyd world where the corporate media still believes it's naughty to point out what is clearly obvious to us, which is that there are some parts of our country that are a zero-trust society and white people are targeted. And this just happened in Cincinnati. I'm not going to show you the videos because they're horrifically violent. You can find them on social media. If you have the guts, I encourage you to go watch them. But let me describe them to you here accurately. A group of young black teens roam through a jazz festival in Cincinnati and target the rare white couple, middle-aged white couples that can't defend themselves in the dark of night, and they get brutally beaten, including a woman who gets knocked totally unconscious. Looked like she was dead for a considerable while by a young man who looks her straight in the face and just knocks her out, beating a woman in the street. It's animalistic. It's evil. It deserves to be called out by everyone. And thank God President Trump and his administration are taking this very seriously. A white couple is brutally beaten at a jazz festival by a black teen mob in Cincinnati, and zero national coverage. That's true. There was zero national coverage. Now, because we have been posting about it, talking about it, and many other influencers, whatever you want to call them, online, have been sharing the videos, some outlets have picked it up. Brutal brawl in downtown Cincinnati leaves victims bloodied. Police launch investigation. Police chief condemns the viral videos of the violent attack, nothing short of cruel and absolutely unacceptable. This is what a zero-trust society looks like. A man in a white t-shirt appears to be shoved to the ground, two other men mercilessly beaten. There were multiple instances, by the way, of white people being attacked in Cincinnati. A woman included, joining in the beating. The man's head appears to be stomped on multiple times. The man continues to be battered for 50 seconds as he is helped back up to his feet. This happened on Friday night at a jazz festival in Cincinnati. He fell back down. People responded to help the man back up. One man could be heard saying he's drunk. The man eventually gets back up on his feet and is bleeding from his head and mouth. A woman then appears to rush to the man's aid. She is then attacked by the crowd. She suffers two brutal blows to her face, sends her slamming down on the pavement. She appears to be knocked unconscious on the pavement. When you're knocked unconscious and you hit the cement, you could do serious brain damage and you could die. It looked as though she was dead for quite a while. We don't have a status report on her. She is seen moving in the video afterwards. Cincinnati police chief told Fox News she is disgusted by the brawl. This is the police chief? Okay. It isn't unclear who the initial aggressors were. The man and the woman are seen beaten in the video. They're white. The vast majority of the crowd is made up of black assailants. The identity and condition of the man and woman are unknown. The behavior displayed is nothing short of cruel and absolutely unacceptable. Our investigative team is working diligently to identify the individual involved in causing harm. It is important to clarify this was a sudden dispute between individuals involving a verbal altercation. Okay, this makes me very angry. These kind of like these mealy mouth explanations. Here's the local news report here from the local station. CPD investigating violent downtown assault captured on video that appears to have left at least 2 injured. The thing that I can't tolerate on this kind of stuff is like, oh, you know, everyone had it coming. No, they didn't have it coming. You're going to have to show me, and for me to like take this back, you're going to have to show me video of these white people attacking the black people physically, beating them, and causing, you know, bodily skull damage and so on. You're going to have to show me that. I'm a proponent of defending yourself with equal force. I'm a proponent of that. I live in a castle law state. We cheer that on this program. But there's zero evidence of that happening. In fact, it's the opposite that is true. The crowd seems to be cheering on the attacks and encouraging them. So charges for everybody in that crowd, please. Zip them all up. Why zero stories, says Elon Musk, to 41 million views. True. Zero AP News stories about the attack. Zero Fox News stories about the attack. We just played this Fox News, so we've been trolling Fox News into actually publishing this. New York Times, NPR, ABC, NBC, CNN, Washington Post, MSNBC. Nothing. You have a racialized, targeted hate crime on video without dispute, and nobody decides to cover it. And you know why. Modern audiences doesn't fit the narrative. Blacks beat 3 elderly white people within an inch of their lives in Cincinnati. By the way, this is targeted. There are multiple videos of this happening to multiple couples. It wasn't just one couple. What it seems like is a flash mob that was dead set on attacking white people. Media crickets. Weist posts an "It's okay to be white" sticker. The media. It's completely wrong. Racist. "It's okay to be white" stickers appear. "It's okay to be white" signs and stickers appear on campuses. Oh, wow. It's okay to be white. School in Pasadena. Well, it is okay to be white. It's okay to be what God made you. There are immutable qualities that you're born with, like whether you're a male or a female. The color of your skin isn't really up to you, actually. What's not okay is to take the color of that skin and to use it as a prerequisite for a vicious, bloody, brutal, attempted murder, which is what is readily available on the internet. You can go see the videos right now. It's attempted murder. They need to be charged with attempted murder or maybe worse. We'll get to the worse here in just a second. Roving groups of gangs attacked white jazz festival attendees in Cincinnati. The footage is what you'd expect. I'd rather not share it. These hate-filled groups see it as open season on white Americans. This is caused in large part by the media inciting it and then covering it up. I could not agree more with Cernovich here. We are living in the aftermath of George Floyd, where you were allowed to do this and nothing happened to you. And so it's the broken windows theory. When there are broken windows, it inspires more criminals to break more windows. It's been proven true again and again and again. When you see graffiti, when you see broken windows, when you see rundown buildings, it's like open season for criminals. And when you see mobs being able to get away with mob violence, it creates more mob violence. Where was the mayor, this is somebody running for governor of Ohio. As the violence broke out in Cincinnati streets, she was smoozing and snapping selfies in the comfort of a luxury suite above it all. Look at that. Along with the police chief, it looks like. Yeah. Democrats are down very, very bad on this. I don't know if the mayor of Cincinnati has said anything, but thankfully Harmeet Dillon has. She's in charge of the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice. Our federal hate crimes laws apply to all Americans. Civil rights will monitor closely how local authorities handle this attack. Nobody in our great nation should be the victim of a crime where race is the motivation. Federal law may apply here. Obviously, if you bring a federal hate crime charge against these individuals, then you could put them away in much harsher conditions and for much longer, and you can destroy their lives even more, which is, of course, what needs to happen to these monsters. Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon says the DOJ will monitor local investigations of vicious attack caught on video. Harmeet Dillon says Justice Department monitoring this. Good. I mean, the reason why she has to use language like that is that you need to obviously build a federal case. They brought federal cases like with the George Floyd fentanyl overdose. You can argue that one all you want in the comment section, but that's what it was. And they brought the federal charges, and that's what really stuck. They were able to get them on federal charges. The police officers on federal hate crime charges, right? It's a very good thing. What could happen if you're charged federally here as a hate crime is 25 years, I think, like a mandatory minimum, depending on depending on the violent result of the crime. The mayor of Cincinnati who has an opinion about a lot of irrelevant topics, has not issued a statement, let alone a condemnation of this heinous attack. Instead of dreaming about higher office, which will never happen, should be ensuring his residents are safe. This is what the police chief was doing. That's right. Tee-hee-heeing here at the Cincy Music Festival. Federal hate crime laws protect all Americans. That's right. So we've seen it. It's a zero trust society situation. J.D. Vance is now finally weighing in on it. You had a grown man sucker punch a middle-aged woman. Person ought to be in jail for a very long time, and frankly, he's lucky there weren't better people around, because they would have handled. Again, I hope that they are able to bring some type of accessory charges against the people that were filming it and cheering it on, because you can see in the video people are cheering it on. It's a demonic and sick element of society that is for these things, and it's wrong both ways. Obviously, the only difference is that the media is going to cover this one up. Whereas if this were happening to black couples at a predominantly white music festival, then obviously it'd be the #1 story on planet Earth. And they'd be blaming Trump for it. But they're going to handle this one like a live grenade and try to bury it. And thankfully, J.D. Vance is on saying this, and he's right.
There was a group of people who attacked a couple folks on the street in Cincinnati. Senator Bernie Moreno, some others have spoken out about it, have been critical of it.
Okay, yes. So what I saw, and I haven't seen the full context, but what I saw is a mob of lawless thugs beating up on an innocent person, and it's disgusting. And I hope every single one of those people who engage in violence is prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And they will be. They will be, so long as law enforcement in the state of Ohio takes their job seriously. I know Dave Yost cares a lot about these things. But yeah, I actually, you're right. Bernie did send me a clip of this, and we talked a little bit about it. I don't know the full context. I don't know how the fight started. But the one part that I saw that was really gruesome is you had a grown man who sucker punched a middle-aged woman. And where I come from, at least, when you have a grown man who sucker punches a middle-aged woman, that person ought to go to jail for a very long time. And frankly, he's lucky there weren't some better people around, because they would have handled it themselves. But if they're not going to handle it, the cops in Cincinnati, the law enforcement, you've got to prosecute people. We've had way too much lawlessness on the streets of great American cities. How many of you all have wanted to go to downtown Akron or downtown Canton or downtown Columbus for a meal, but you're worried because the local authorities in these big cities have allowed lawlessness to run wild? We have got to make great American cities safe again for families and children. If you want to take your wife or your children out for a meal, you shouldn't be worried about street violence. And the only way to destroy that street violence is to take the thugs who engage in that violence and throw their asses in prison.